Hey there guys, Erica here from Hive49RC. I'm using a lapel mic today, so hopefully my audio sounds a little bit better. Let me know in the comments. But I'm here today to do a motor rebuild on this Trinity Speed Gems Onyx motor. It's a 14-turn double motor. It's super clean. I got this from the person that messaged me on Instagram. If you guys saw that haul video a week or two ago. Super clean motor. COM looks great. Brushes look good. It's overall pretty clean. We're not going to have to clean a lot out of it, it doesn't look like. Just in terms of like dirt and other crap. Pretty much all I think we're going to have to do to it is just pull it apart, give it a quick inspection, lube up the bearings, and turn the COM real quick, just get it cleaned up, slap it back together, and we should be good to go. First things first, I want to get all the end bell components off. So I want to get the brush screws out, and I want to get the spring posts off, get the brush hoods off of the motor. And then we can go ahead and pull the end bell off and take a closer look at it all. My methodation when it comes to keeping track of parts is red on the right. So there's a little plus sign on the back of the end bell here. And I always just put that on my right hand side, and any parts that come off of this side of the motor, I put on the right side of my tray, and vice versa, left side on that side of the tray. Then with that, I take and make a little mark right there on the can. Just made a tiny little scratch, and that helps me keep track of which way the end bell went on to make sure it gets back on the correct direction. But now that the brush screws are out, I'm not sure why that was so hard to say, I can go ahead and just pop the springs off. That's the left one, and there is the right one. That goes over there. Pop the brushes out, keep them on their appropriate sides, and the brushes look really good. Nice and healthy. Now we pull our brush hoods off of here. And I need to clip off these capacitors real quick. I'm just going to unsolder them later, but for the moment, I will just clip them off. And our brush hoods and heat sinks came off in one go. And we'll have to clean up the solder on those tabs there, because it's a little gunky looking. Want to make sure they're nice for display. Same with this side, just got to clean up the solder and then we're good. Might wipe them down with a little bit of brake clean or AC flush or something. But now, let's actually pull the end bell off here and get inside the motor and see what it looks like. There we go. Okay. COM looks absolutely beautiful. Looks like it's been taken really good care of. Someone actually proposed the idea that these might have been used for carpet racing, which makes a lot of sense why they would be so clean, all the motors in this lot that I got. It's hard to know though. But that COM is just absolutely beautiful. Cannot wait to get that cleaned up. It's going to look gorgeous. Go ahead and set that off for the side for the moment. Here's my end bell. Pretty clean. Just going to wipe it down. Clean up those little tabs there where the capacitors are. Just make it look nice. Pop this armature out of here. Man, so clean. Not a speck of dirt on the thing. We'll give it a quick rinse down, of course. Inside the can looks good. There's a couple shims down there, so I'll have to grab those out with my tweezers. This is how I keep my parts all in order when I rebuild motors. I put the armature up at the top. That is not the armature, that is the end bell, Erica. Get with it. And the appropriate shims. The can and its shims down at the bottom, because that's how I look at a motor, top to bottom. And then these are the parts from the red side, and they go on the right hand side of the tray, and these are the parts from the left side. As I'm sitting here thinking about cleaning up these parts, I'm noticing that there's actually more dirt in this thing than I had originally thought. As you can see there, the bearing's got a nice coat of grit on it, and the one in the can looks similar. But that is nothing a quick spritz of contact cleaner can't fix. Okay, Erica, let's be smart and actually use a pair of pliers this time. Guys, I have had a revelation. Little brass brush works wonders for cleaning up the little like burnt crusty bits of slag that you get when you solder sometimes. I'm keeping this in with my motor kit from now on. That works so good. Upon closer inspection of this comm, it looks like it has been cut before, which is good. There's plenty of material on it for us to get it cleaned up, and it definitely makes me happy that it was well taken care of in its past. I know I've shown comm cutting and such before. One of these days I will do a proper tutorial for it, but for now I will just show you guys more or less what I do. Just gotta get the armature settled in there, get this O-ring, or drive belt if you want to call it that I guess, wrapped around the lower pulley and around the armature, like so. Get that spinning centered, and I need to add a little bit of lubricant to the armature shaft on either side. The freaking little tip on my applicator is all plugged up, so I gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Just dab a little bit on there. That should be more than enough. So I just want to put a little bit of Sharpie on there so I can really see where I'm cutting. I want to run it in until I just start to see a copper line appear, like such. Bring it back. Cut all the way across until I hit my stop, which I have set up. Bring it back. We did not cut it all, so I'm going to advance it just a smidge and cut it again. So that looks quite good. There's still a little bit of chipping going on that I can see by the edges of the comm segments. So I want to take probably 1 or 2 more light passes and get those things cleaned up. Now that right there looks absolutely gorgeous. Cleaned up really nice. That is the least amount of cuts I've ever had to take to get a comm cleaned up. What I'm doing here is just getting the little burr off the edges of the comm segments, because as you turn it, it's going to create a little burr on the edges, and that is highly likely to chip your brushes as it's going around at, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, whatever it may be. And this just helps keep your brushes from getting chipped, really. Take the back of a hobby knife and just get all the extra little bits of shavings and crap and debris out of the comm segments, because that also can get stuck in your brushes and just not be a good time overall. I just want to add a couple drops of oil to the bearings. Make sure that they're all good and lubed up. I like to use a pencil and use it to spin the bearing. It helps just allow you to be able to spin the inner race without having to try and stick your finger in there. Just helps get the oil like all distributed. That feels pretty good. Just do the same on the end bell real quick here. And then we can go ahead and align the brush hoods. Yep, that feels great. I've already installed my brush hoods, heat sinks, brushes, and spring posts. So all I'm going to do now real quick is align my brush hoods. What this does is just ensure that the brushes remain perfectly square to the armature. The reason we want that is to make sure that our brushes maintain a perfectly perpendicular orientation to the motor shaft. And if they don't, what can happen is you can chip your brushes, you can get uneven wear, things like that. Just get these guys tightened down, like so. And now our brush hoods are perfectly aligned. I've gone ahead and put the timing ring on my end bell here, and also the shims on the armature, because we're ready to assemble this motor. Let's go ahead and drop this into the can here carefully. Hope that that shim is not steel. Gorgeous. Slipped right in. And for the end bell, get that twisted around and aligned. Red is on my right. Got the timing mark aligned up with the little scratch that I made earlier, and that is neutral timing, or zero timing if you want to put it that way as well. Just going to pop the brushes back in here, grab the springs, put them back on. Sorry, I know I've got my giant meat sticks all up in the shot here, but that's what's got to happen sometimes. There's the positive side, brush spring installed. And last but not least, the negative side. And of course, we got to give it a quick test. Oh yeah, that thing screams. Hell yeah. Just like that, you've got a fully rebuilt Trinity Speed Gym Onyx motor. There you have it. Our Trinity Speed Gym Onyx motor rebuild is complete. I'm very happy with it. It turned out absolutely phenomenal. Super clean. Can't wait to get this on display. With that, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please leave a big fat thumbs up. If this does happen to be the first video that you have seen by me, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you get notified of the next time I do another motor rebuild. Because I have probably about 9 more to do. As always, follow me on Instagram, support me on Patreon, join my Discord server, and become a member of the channel as well. All the links are down in the description below. While you're down there, leave a comment too if you're excited for the next rebuild. With that, you guys, that's all I've got to say. Thank you again so much for watching. Crazy Brush Girl, out.